Hey there, John Morris here, johnmorrisonline.com. Welcome back to another episode of The John Morris Show. I'll tell you sort of right up front, this is going to be a bit of a venti video. I know I try not to do this super often, but I figure every once in a while I'm entitled to something like this, I think. But mainly, what I want from this video is I want to know what you think. That's the only reason why I'm making this video, is I legitimately want to know what you think about this, because I got this comment and it's sort of throwing me for a loop. And I've talked about in the past where this has happened and I sort of just kept it all to myself, didn't really talk about it, and it caused me to become really frustrated and disillusioned and so forth. And I stopped making videos, I stopped making episodes and all that sort of thing. And I don't want that to happen again, but I do want some sense of if this is how a lot of people feel. And if it is, then maybe I just need to, shut this whole thing down or rethink or something. But I want to go through this. I want to give you my point of view. And then again, ultimately, I just want to know what you think of it. I don't want you to hold back. I don't want you to tell me what I want to hear. I want to know what you actually think. So I got this comment on yesterday's video. Yesterday's episode. Yesterday's episode was 7 ways to make money on YouTube, which I thought was a fairly helpful video for people who are trying to get into creating a YouTube channel and so forth. So anyway, I got this comment from Green Lantern 33. Said, "John, I just don't understand what is going on here. You used to make videos about doing things. Go to your videos list, sort them by popularity. The top 20 are all how-to videos. In this video, you even talk about how teaching is what you want to do. Yet your videos these days are loaded with clickbait titles. The content is weak, and honestly, they feel a little scummy." So I responded to him. I'm just going to go through this whole thing, and then we'll talk about it. I responded to him and I said, "So let me ask you, have you ever been a Patreon supporter of mine? I ask because it's easy to say, I want more of this, but if you're not willing to support it, well, then I'm not sure what to tell you." That and literally the comment below yours said they found this video inspiring, so who's right? He responded and said, "So if I don't support your content," which I said in my original comment was slipping, "then I'm not entitled to an opinion. All about the money. Got it. Good luck with that, bro." And my final response was sort of snarky. I said, "'Cause you give away all the work you do for free, I'm sure. I still do all the coding tutorials I used to, more in fact, which I do. I do them. I do more than I used to do. That's the actual reality. But those are in my Patreon or in my store, and yeah, you got to pay a few bucks to get them. I'm hardly the only one who has made this move on YouTube, and there's a reason why that's happening. That was the entire premise of this video, which is the one I did, the episode I did yesterday. So it's not that you can't have an opinion, have it, but we're not willing to support the people who put their time and effort into creating the things you want. Well, to me, that's what's scummy." So, like I said, this morning is sort of throwing me for a loop a little bit, because I honestly try to, it's a really fine and delicate line that I and others have to walk in doing what we do. And like I said, I'm far from the only person who's going through this. You've probably seen it with a lot of YouTube channels. Probably, maybe the most popular sort of coding tutorial channel on YouTube, I think, is Eli the Computer Guy. And he just literally, him and John Sonmez from Simple Programmer, they not that long ago had this back and forth where they were essentially arguing, where John Sonmez was saying, the way you have to use YouTube is just different now. It's just the reality of it. And ultimately ended with Eli conceding and changing the way he does his YouTube videos. And so, again, I'm hardly the only one that's been through this. And quite literally, yesterday's episode was all about some of the reasons why that I had to make those changes. And if you are getting into doing YouTube, you will have to make those changes, or you'll have to do this stuff right from the start. And so, again, it's sort of the reality of what we have to do now. But as I said, I still do all the coding tutorials. I put out way more in terms of coding tutorials than I used to. It's just you got to pay a few bucks to get it because of, yesterday I talked about Adpocalypse 1, but there was a 2 and there was a 3, and a lot of YouTube creators, myself included, I mean, by the time it was all done, I was getting, and I know this isn't a ton necessarily for, these really super popular YouTube channels, but I was getting hundreds of thousands of views per month and making only couple hundred bucks off of YouTube ad revenue. Like you just can't support yourself off of that. So what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to react? And everybody has a little bit different way that they do it, right? So you have like people might bring up, so Traversy Media, right? Yeah, he puts out a ton of really good coding tutorials and so forth, but also has also has Udemy courses, right? Also has a Patreon, also has a thing with Udacity or whatever, however you say that, right? He still has all these ways in which he goes about monetizing what he does. The Code Course guy was one of the first coding ones that I came across. Right? He does all of his videos on his YouTube channel for free, but if you want the source code, you got to sign up for his membership and pay a certain amount a month in order to get access to the source code. So he does it that way. John Sonmez has books and courses and stuff over on Pluralsight and all that sort of thing. So everybody has a way that they do it, and it's all a little bit different. Just happens to be the way that I do it. But I've always tried to never make these videos, these episodes, be just completely just 100% marketing. I always try to teach something in them, but the reality is that I have to promote my products and services and so forth, because otherwise there's no way to make a living doing this. I'd have to go back to doing client work, and if I went back to doing client work, I wouldn't have any time to do this. So it's sort of a rock and a hard place. And the thing that gets me about all of this is that you have people like this who, when you say, hey, would you be willing to support me in some way so that I can keep doing this and actually make these, if I were to go back to doing all of my coding tutorials on this channel, would you be willing to support me in some way? And they go, it's all about the money, right? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to answer that question. The only thing I can really do is sort of ignore it and just keep doing what I'm doing, because it's allowing me to continue. Right now, it's allowing me to continue to keep doing this. And I know some people are getting value out of it, and that's sort of the best that I can really do, given all of the different pressures that you have when it comes to financial pressures, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to the people watching, all that sort of thing. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't really have anything more that I can say to this person, but I guess, like I said, it's just sort of a vent for me, and I'm sort of wondering where you're at with it. What do you think? Is this guy right? I mean, should I consider just shutting this whole thing down or completely change the way I'm doing things? I don't know what exactly I would change it to, but again, I just want to know what you think of all of this. So that's sort of the episode today. I really don't have much more to say about it. I don't know exactly what the answer is, but I am interested in what you think about the whole thing. So that'll do it for the episode. If you do want to support the show, you can certainly do so at johnmorrisonline.com/Patreon. Also, if you like the video, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell. Past episodes and links for the audio version are at johnmorrisshow.com, and rate and review. And I'll give you Module 1 of my PHP 101 course for free. You could tell I'll be honest, my heart's really sort of not in this today. This is sort of throwing me for a loop. I'm a little frustrated, a little irritated. Anyway, all that, johnmorrisshow.com. Click on the Start Here link at the top. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.